Hey everyone, welcome back to Make Money Online. Today, we'll look at the top 10 tips from Warren Buffett about investing in the stock market. The stock market is one of the most important investment planes in the financial sector today. Stock market investment is essential to good money management because it ensures both present and future financial security. It opens doors of opportunities for you. While stock investment can be life-changing and beneficial, if you do not know your way around, you could be easily deceived, or even make mistakes that would cost you dearly in the long run. One of the richest men in the world, Warren Buffett, was a great investor, and he has shared some of his tips with us. Invest in what you know and nothing more. Only buy things you understand. You need to invest only in the things that you understand. Warren Buffett, in his many years of investing, has never invested into a technology company. This is because he says that he has no idea how the sector operates. If you look logically into the statement, you would realize that setting that standard for yourself would save you a lot of stress. Apart from saving you a lot of stress that would be involved if you have to learn new things that you can't comprehend, this would also keep you in a safe space. You would not put your investment into something you do not know the ups and downs of. The next time you're tempted to go into that business sector that you do not understand, think about the risk of wandering into the unknown. Take that step back and concentrate more on the things you know. Never compromise on business quality. Know the difference between price and value. Prices don't tell me anything about a business. Business figures themselves tell me something about a business. Another great piece of investment advice from the investment guru is to never compromise the quality of a business. Most investors tend to focus on the price of the stocks they're buying and ignore the actual value of the stock. So if they find out that the stock market isn't going to be open for a while, they sell their stock. The true value in your investment would show if you're not bothered by what the stock looks like. If you know that you've made an investment that has security, then you wouldn't even concentrate on the stock prices. So Warren says that when he wants to buy stocks, he doesn't even focus on the money first. He checks the business figures to confirm if he's investing in the right place. Next time you want to invest in the stock market for prices, take a step back and look away from the price for a second. Is the business worth investing in? If it is, then for as long as you're investing, you would be assured that you're not losing. Study the business and not the stock price. Buy below intrinsic value. Low-cost index funds are sensible for most investors. The first rule in investment is don't lose. And the second rule in investment is don't forget the first rule. Warren states that the above rule is the only rule in stock investment. This is true because you do not buy stock to lose money. You take the step in hopes that it would bring you profits in the future. As much as you want to pick the right place to invest in, you also want to make sure that you buy far below the intrinsic value. If you buy things at a price far below their worth, you basically don't lose money. Never forget to not lose money. Don't give in to the hype. Most news is noise, not news. Warren Buffett stated that most news on the stock exchange market is just hype. And although he's a very good reader, he tries his possible best to not give in to the news. There's a lot of news going around. Many investors tend to listen to their fellow stock owners or other pundits who give estimations based on subtle things. It's all really just hype at the end of the day. There are times that your market will lose some value, but that doesn't mean you should take drastic actions that would affect your entire investment scheme. Should you sell your shares because the stock in your company has slid a little? Don't focus on the hocus pocus going around now. As a good investor, you need to evaluate the long-term effects of whatever the news companies are talking about. The fact remains that financial news outlets also need to make their living, so they would take any little opportunity to blow up any news they get. Should this affect your decisions? If you evaluate your choices wisely, then it should not. Always remember that most of the news is just hype. In fact, Warren evaluates that this is true 99% of the time. Don't overcomplicate investing. Throughout his career, Warren has always given simple tips for easy passage through the financial market. But the surprise there is that people didn't seem to like his ideas because they were so simple. Well, today, the joke is likely on them, because Warren is a billionaire. Many investors tend to make stock market investment look far harder than it is. It is an easy game. According to Warren, the academics tend to focus on the more complicated things like the data. To a man with a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Stocks are just pieces of businesses, so you do not need to complicate them. Warren Buffett has followed this principle and combined it with common sense. You could achieve so much success in the market if you tried that too. Diversification can be dangerous. For stock investment, it's hard to find the perfect business for investment. At many times, investors try to find businesses with at least 3 of the following: advantageous economic benefits that is favorable on a long-term basis, competent management, attractive purchase price, and a familiar industry whose long-term characteristics are judgeable. Looking for companies that meet these criteria 100% is not an easy task. Getting these companies is also not a walk in the park. Warren advised that when you see an opportunity like this, you need to jump at it with both arms open wide. Many investors are not patient enough for this, so they prefer to own multiple funds across many different companies. Their estimate is that the risks are going to be reduced, so rather than investing so much into a company that doesn't hit all the marks, they would rather invest very little so they won't lose much. The reality in this step is that there is a likelihood that most of the stock investment made when diversification is adopted is made into a number of mediocre businesses that would not guarantee profit in the long run. It is also impossible to keep tabs on 100 different events that are affecting the many companies you invest into. So you're definitely not going to keep tabs on your stock. Hence, there is a huge danger in diversification. You shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket, but the idea of excessive diversification is madness. When you buy a stock, plan to hold it forever. Phil Fisher said that if you do your work well while purchasing a common stock, you should almost never sell that stock. Warren Buffett seconded this statement when he said that if you cannot hold a stock for 10 minutes, then don't even bother to purchase it at all. When you want to buy a stock, as said earlier, you need to do your assignments well. So many investors when buying a stock tend to ask themselves when the best time to sell their stock is, even before they purchase. Hold that stock as tight as you can for as long as you can. Why? Because as we discussed earlier, it's hard to find the perfect stock to buy. If you found one that is highly profitable, letting it go might be the worst idea you've ever had. Also, businesses like that tend to appreciate in value over time. The more it appreciates, the more you gain. Finally, trading stock tends to eat up your stock profits in forms of taxes and trading commissions. So try to buy right and sit tight. Investing isn't rocket science, but there is no easy button. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to venture into the stock market. In fact, you don't need that great of an IQ to survive the world of stock investment. This being said, it doesn't mean it's an easy game. There is no simple equation to it. It's not like math, where there is always a specific answer. If anyone comes to you claiming to have formulas that would make you a guru in the stock investment market, you need to run from that person. They're a wolf in sheep's clothing. There are sets of principles to follow while entering the market. Also, advice and knowledge seeking is great and would help your stock market game in the long run. Adhering to an overarching set of investment principles is fine, but investing is still a difficult art that requires thinking and shouldn't feel easy. Don't let anyone fool you. The best moves are actually boring. When a company has proved its worth over time, it's easier and safer to invest in that company. Sure, it's more fun to go out searching for companies that you think would be the next big thing. Things like that are exciting. Warren Buffett has advised that the slow and steady wins the race. It's easy to come up with a new business idea that looks like it would take over the world in no time, don't you think? Sometimes the temptation to invest into these great ideas might be so great, but the thing about new ideas is that they have no existing figures on ground. So how do you know how the stock would profit you in the long run? Rather than concentrate on those, why not fix your gaze on businesses that have had the opportunity to prove their worth? You need to understand that investing in the stock market is not a get-rich-immediately strategy. It is not meant to be exciting. In stock market investment, boring can be beautiful. Only listen to those you know and trust. The financial world is filled with many types of people who are either good or bad. Warren Buffett has always been careful about choosing his business partners and managers. It's very hard to get long-term profitable benefits from a business with insensitive owners. What does this depict? No matter how much assurance you are given, character matters in the financial market. There are many who are out there just to bring others down. You need to be aware of those types of people. While you might not have as many resources to determine the most trustworthy management as Warren Buffett would, you should at least try to listen to only those you trust. Rather than listen to tale-tellers who are out to sell advertisements and make a quick fortune, try to stay focused on facts. Set realistic expectations and stay on course. Be careful who you trust. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and click on the notification bell so you can get updates whenever we post a new video. What other secrets have you learned from Warren Buffett? Please let us know in the comment section below. While you're here, go ahead and click on one of the videos on your screen. See you next time.